Okay, we left off a while ago trying to figure out why our toggle tile is not working correctly. And let's just get this running again and review what's going on. So, and we're not, hold on. So, the label on my video is not correct. We're trying to figure out, what's wrong with this, right? ToggleTile ToggleTile is kind of what we're working on right now. So let me just put that in there. Okay. So anyways, ToggleTile, video number is 170. It's Monday. Okay, just making sure that's all correct. Okay, so if we go over here, we're running some unit tests, so there's some lag. We just want to add some more unit tests, right? And now the thing is that maybe my unit tests aren't what I think they are. I don't know, but so if we put patterns in here, I noticed that if I look at the logs for what's going on here, like if I look at the console logs, and God damn it, don't do that. When I do this, right, add, it says add, and then after that it says remove, right? Add, remove, add, remove, right? So the first time it adds, and then after that, it just keeps on wanting to remove. So, what could that signify? And I don't quite know why it's doing this. So the first thing is we're just gonna add some more unit tests, right? And then we're gonna hope that maybe the unit test will figure out what's going on here. I don't know if it will, but it's a first step that we can do, right? So in this toggle tile, this is the toggle tile function, and if we look at this toggle tile, so this should be our test, right? Unit test, yes. This is the unit test for ToggleTile. And we have a few basic tests. So now the thing is, I don't know. I think we can add, the exponent is different on all these. The exponent that I'm currently using, what is the exponent I'm currently using? I guess the exponent I'm using is almost the whole screen, so I think the tile exponent I'm using is 6. So we could make a look at that for a second. So so we have 1x1 pixels, 1x1, 2x2, 4x4, 8x8, and then we have 16x16, 32x32, 64x64, 128x128, and then 256x256. Okay. And 256x256 would be the whole tile set. This is our biggest tile here for what we're working on. So the tile size exponent for this is 0. Then we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Is that correct? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Maybe it is. Let's go look at the data for a second. If we go look at, let's close this. I don't think we need that open. I don't think we need this open either, because we're just trying to debug. We're just trying to debug the ToggleTile right now. So if we look at PAINT5D data, there should be a table that gives us the max tile exponent, right? There should actually be like a lookup table. Tile exponent size in pebbles. Oh, really? We're only going up to 128? Is that correct? If we look at this canvas user view. Oh yeah, this is 128. This is 128, and the whole thing's 256. Okay. So we're only going up to 128. Okay. So that means that over here, let's close this mouse stuff. Let's close anything that's not related to the problem we're trying to solve here. We need to close it, because otherwise we're going to get really distracted with like all this other stuff kind of wandering around here. So right now that means that in terms of what we're doing, that tile size that we're using is like a quarter size tile of this. And so this is 128. That means we're at 64 by 64. And that would be this tile size here. So we're using tile size exponent 6, it seems, when we're running into those troubles. It's tile exponent 6, and I don't think it's just tile exponent 6. I think there's other problems as well. But we can start with that, right? So what I think what we could do is we could just say, let's just steal all these for a second. And let's just use the maximum values for everything, right? So the tile quad can be, the maximum for that can be 3. 0, 1, 2, or 3. The tile exponent, we can have, for the tile exponent, the maximum values we can have are, looks like 7 is the greatest, 128 for 128 for this. So let's put a 7 in here. The layer, we only have 3 layers, 0, 1, and 2, so the layer can be this. The local X and local Y really depends on, well, what we've been choosing here, right? So, because we have chosen the largest size, there's only one possible location, which is 0, 0. So that's kind of solved for us, right? So we'll keep that there. And then what we'll do is we're going to this AutoTile set index. The failure isn't actually happening on this set index, right? It's actually happening when we load up, we're at the first tile set, and that first tile set should be actually actually no, that should be 0. Yeah. So the value here, the initial value we want to set here, we want to do something like 3, 2, 1, and then 2, 1, and 3. So we want these numbers to always be different to see if it will correctly kind of set the new value, right? And, oh, this is the expected value that's going to result, right? So the expected value should just match, right? So 2, 1, and 3. Because the toggle tile, these tile values are different than these tile values, therefore it just overrides, right? So here's the tile value that already exists, here's the brush value, and here's the what's loaded in here, right? So so these tests are maxed out values with everything living in a so let's make a note of this. We're gonna go open up our hashtag documentation. Oh, and actually, I have to go open up the chat because I kind of went at it, and I don't even know if anyone's in chat. So I gotta go open that up for a second. But I'm just gonna do this, and then I'm gonna go check in chat because I totally forgot about chat. So basically, I just want to make the usage of unset and set. I want to make them kind of more symmetrical. So do set and unset, right? So anyways, let's go open up chat. I don't think anyone's here, but let's go. I'm off my game here. I got a lot of going on lately, so let's just go Twitch dash. Let's open up the Twitch dashboard really quick and see if we have anyone who's stopped by. And I don't know. Yeah, I don't think so. Knock, knock. Okay, yeah. So this is... Technically, we're still fixing ToggleTile, but we're actually just on video 170. So let's put done there. Let's go put this back up here. And let's just keep on rolling with this. And trying to figure out what we're doing here. So, we've added 3 more tests, right? We're resulting in a do set here, right? So, everything's maxed out. The offset index, though, that we're using... let's use min, middle, and max, maybe, I think, for this, just in case. So the offset index should be from 0 to 15, right? So this should be, so 15 can be up here, and then somewhere in the middle, maybe we use like a 7 to be kind of like in the middle-ish of this, right? And now we gotta respect the ones in whatever place. Okay, yeah, so let's give that a shot. So we're gonna add 3 more tests. And if these 3 tests, these extra 3 tests, still don't get us a crash, right? Like it just, we're not seeing any results here, then the next thing we're gonna do is run the test twice, because we're noticing that, in a given position, well, I mean, this is still the same position here, 3 times. We're noticing in a given position that it kind of supposedly works the first time and then fails every other time after that. So we want to look at that. So number of tests is going to be 6, 7, 8, 9, right? So 9. And we'll just give that a run and see what happens, right? So let's give that a run. And then, I don't know. I'm kind of like, I don't know what's going on, But whatever it is, whatever is going on actually needs to be caught by the tests. So, if my test can't catch this, then I have some bad tests, or there's something severely wrong with my test, and I don't know what that could be. So yeah, so yeah, I really don't know what that could be. Could it be that we are setting and unsetting tiles really quickly? No, because I feel like if that were to be a thing, we would notice something else, I think. Okay, so instead of let's duplicate this for a second, and let's try to, well, actually, no, let's not duplicate this yet. I want to know exactly what's loaded into the brush. How about that? So when I click, tell me exactly what's in that brush, and then from there we can set those exact brush settings into here and see what's going on, because right now it's like I don't get it. Uh-huh. Yeah, knowing what's in that brush is gonna help us. So let's go find the brush. And also, like, where are we actually setting that, right? Put brush state. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do here is I want to clean this up a bit. We need to manage this code a little bit to where there's too much code in here, I think. So, like, I like everything being in one file, but I think that this file has just gotten a little bit too big. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take this unit test code, because when I'm searching through this code, I want to know, you know, do I want to search through unit test code, or do I want to search through, or am I trying to search through something else, right? So, what we're going to do here, yeah, like all this code, there's too much code in here to be able to search through it easily. So, Yeah, like, look at all this. There's just a lot of stuff in here. And I'm thinking that we're going to have to start dividing and conquering. And yeah, we're going to have to divide and conquer here. So this section unit test here, we're going to cut this out for a second. We're going to go over here, we're going to paste it. Section unit test. We're going to go save this as P5D UTC PAINT5D unit test code, right? And the idea there is just I want to do it in a way where I'm eliminating some of the we could do P5D underscore UTC, or I could do P5D dot UTC like that. I guess P5D dot UTC makes more sense, unit test code. Or P5D dot T for test, and then just put an underscore, right? I just want to keep it pretty terse, so let's just call it that. Right, so P5D tests. And then full file path to clipboard. And before we do anything, I'm just going to save it like this and expect that things aren't going to compile because we call it from other places. But I just want to make sure that it doesn't compile. So I want to assert that my refactor actually has consequences, right? So if this compiles anyways, then yeah, PAINT5D unit test is missing, right? So we're going to take this and copy this. And in here, we're going to take this, we're going to steal the public version here. Yeah, we're going to steal this public version here. And we're going to throw it down in here, right? So we're going to keep this part of the unit test section, just this small part. And then we're going to take this unit test section, like section unit test or whatever the heck. We'll duplicate this section here. Section unit test section, right? And then what we'll do is we'll just include this file, right? So we'll go full file path to clipboard. And so the public version of this function will be here, and then the rest of the code include P5D tests, right? So we'll include it like this. Unit test code is making it too hard to search through this project. Put it all in manageability. Okay, right, so we're gonna call it that. And then what we're gonna do here is yeah, I mean that's really all we need to do. We can make a note of what the timestamp is right now, right? So at vid id. It's video number 170 and the timestamp 24 and I guess 32, 42. We'll do 42 to be cool. Yep. And then we'll just keep that there, right? So we'll keep a little note of why we extracted it. And that will, I think, help us manage what we're doing a little bit better. So make sure that compile. Oh god. God, I hate when the console does that. Let's open up this and let's do a git bash here because I hate it when the console closes like that. I type something, the console closes, the focus automatically goes back to over here, and then the console commands I was typing ends up wrecking my code. So /AAC2020.sh. So let's run this, make sure this still runs. So the reason we extract it in this manner is so I can still find the unit test section that I'm expecting to find in every single one of my function files, and I can even search for the public unit test function or the private unit test function. I can still find them in this file, and then I can see, oh, the rest of these things are included in p5d.t_. So we have a u32 here that we have to declare. So define u32 right here, and then under here we'll just go undef u32, and then that should be enough, I think. So we're just gonna keep on hacking away at this until we figure this out. And then also, you know, while I'm here, I'm gonna go message Josh. Okay, so that's compiling, cool. And now we're gonna run the unit tests and see what happens there. So right now it's kind of crashing, not crashing, but it's these unit tests that are currently running are really heavy. So unfortunately I just have to wait. And then why are there two groups that I seem to be part of that I don't recognize on Discord? I'll have to go look at that. But yeah, so we're just gonna wait, and yeah, the tests pass. We don't know what's going wrong with the tests, but okay, let's check. Oh, shit. Yeah, I can, cover for you. Fuck. Shit. Let's, figure some stuff out. We need to get those details as soon as possible. And possible to make sure I don't screw anything up for it. Sorry, I'm a bit late here. Okay. Yeah. But no. Yeah. Okay. I just needed to... Okay, I see. Um... No. No. So... Okay. Yeah, so... That I will have to... Damn, okay, cool. I mean, that's good, that's good. Okay, just some stuff on Discord. It's good stuff, but it's also like, I should have seen it earlier because I gotta help this person out. Okay, anyways, let's keep on rolling here and figuring stuff out. So, if this test already kind of passed on us, right? So we gotta keep on figuring out why. And I'm thinking that we want to, put the brush controls into a single file here. Like a brush controls file or something, but like if we do P5D, let's just look for the string, or not the string, but single quotes, and look for like X. The X key, I believe, does some stuff, right? No deal. P5D. Well, it's somewhere in here, right? So if we look in here, we should be able to find these character keys. Yeah, key P5D, and we have different kind of like different things here, right? So uh-huh. Is there a possibility that... No. Tile exponent. Okay, so we have all this stuff. And this is the... Is this keyboard stuff? Why is that key in, and what is this? Is that like a... This is key in. And then what's down here? This also says key in. Okay, what's the difference between this key in, PAINT5D key in, that is public and this is probably private, right? Yeah, okay. And what goes on in the public version? It's just a got ya. It's not really the keys that are doing this, though, right? Okay, here's what we're gonna do. I mean, we can always, if we ever really regret it, we can always put it back, right? But let's just start slicing things up into more pieces again. So this stuff here, we're gonna create like another file for this. We're gonna just cut this all out of here for a second. I'm gonna go over here, file, save this, and this is going to be. We're gonna say P5D dot keyboard, right? PAINT5D keyboard. So P5D dot key dot underscore PAINT5D dot F dot key in keyboard, right? So something like that. And then let's keep Discord open here. Okay. So anyways, yeah, we'll put this in its own file here. And then we have all these macros here. I'm fairly certain that most of these macros could probably just wrap the stuff we've extracted here. So keyboard handler, and then we'll take down here. We'll also take this stuff here, all these macros here, and we'll put them down here as well. All right, so we'll kind of like encompass the section in that. And then what we'll do over here is we don't really need all these macros anymore. All right, we have int32s, and we really should make this assigned character, but for now, let's just keep int32. That, or we could. Now it's going to be easier if these macros are in the same file as the. Well, hold on. Ooh, that could create some problems. Okay, my bad. We're going to keep these macros here. Because if we, in the include file, if we keep them, it's just going to lead to some problems, isn't it? And what we can do is, for this keyboard handler here, no undefines, not a main, not a top level file. So we might want to just make a note here. That there's no undefines here. It's not a top level file. Now we can redefine these as the same thing. That's fine. It's just that outside of here, since we grab this and put it into another file, we don't really want to do that, right? So the unit test section here. Did we get lucky with the unit test thing here? We may have. So let's just say, this is the keyboard handler. And this is kind of like the reason why breaking things into other files can be kind of like bad, because we're increasing the surface area of the code, right? We're adding more code. When we break things into other files, a lot of times, when we break things into other files and other functions, a lot of times we have to add more code, right? So, PAINT5D keyboard. Or, a lot of ways we could look at this. You might want to make that kind of more noticeable. Not like it's a big chunk of code, so we probably should give it some type of obnoxiousness, I believe, just so that we can say, hey, this include here, you know, you're important, don't forget about me, kind of thing, right? Okay. And then I was worried about the unit test code here. So the way we're doing the unit test, with this U32 here, and this undef, that could be define. Oh, as long as all the includes are... Okay, so it's not really a problem as long as the includes are... As long as the included code is at the bottom, right? And any of the other stuff we have here is at the top. Then it doesn't matter if this gets duplicated, right? Because this gets defined, right? And then in here it gets defined, and some code gets ran, and then it gets undefined, and then it gets undefined again, right? It gets double undefined. I think that's okay. Or at least I'm pretty sure. Can you double undefine it? I believe you can. Is it legal to double undef something? Let's make a note of that. Double undef. Is it legal to double undef something? Double undef something. Well, this isn't very good. Check Facebook. Let's ask on Facebook for... Oh, no. How about LinkedIn? I'll ask on LinkedIn. Even though LinkedIn seems kind of useless. LinkedIn seems like to be the most useless place for questions. Like if I Stack Overflow, you ask trivial questions and people give you a hard time. Facebook I have the most success with. Is it legal to... Let's see. Okay. So let's close that. And let's I I mean, if it's illegal, I mean, we would run into some problems. So I think we're good. Okay, so this keyboard handler code, I don't really like the organization of that. Let's put it in here like this. And just say, okay, so yeah, let's just give this another run, make sure it still works, and then start to think about I want to start to isolate why how can we make another test? Could we make a test that we emulate what's happening with the mouse and keyboard somehow, right? And then use that to figure things out a little bit better. So we got these logging functions in the test we're running. Okay. And there we go, right? So that gets... No toggling, though. No toggling action. In fact, I think this is... It's permanently removing, but it's never adding. So, okay. So, let's, let's create a stateful unit test. So in our test code, if we look at the ToggleTile code, so the nice thing about having this in a test file is that if you look for ToggleTile, you're only going to find references to ToggleTile where you're actually running code, right? So, first of all, is the state being wiped every single time, right? Are we, like, wiping the state to run these tests? So we go through here, and initial values, the tile quadrant, etc. We put the brush state, right? And... yeah, we put the brush state all in one go, and that's definitely not how we're going to do it in the, that's definitely not the way we're going to do it in the keyboard handler, right? Because the keyboard handler will set one attribute at a time. So that's the first problem. Apply toggle action, put brush state, toggle tile, PAINT5D get. And this test doesn't... Initial tile value. So TV is the initial tile value. Okay, TV. Put brush state. Oh, okay. Put using brush. So put using brush is... it's an override rather than a toggle, right? So we put using the brush. We put a different brush state. And then we use ToggleTile instead. Got it. Okay. Okay, yeah. So... okay. So my question is... okay. So here's the thing. We should be able to toggle... Things should toggle, right? So we put the initial value, we use the brush file, and then we have these expected values, right? We need to... if the expected value is non-zero, then we're going to try to... if the brush value is non-zero and the expected value is 0, then, yeah, let's just try to toggle it, right? So we're not actually we're doing one clickety-click, but things are failing on the second click, right? So what we could do is, right, so after we check all this, right, so is this the test loop here? Yeah, this is the test loop. Okay. Use ToggleTile again. See what happens. So in here, we're gonna make another section. We're gonna use ToggleTile again in this section after we've already seemingly passed one of our test cases, right? But what we're gonna do is we're gonna say that if the expected value so I don't want to worry about cases where we have a tile value of 0, right? Because that changes things. But we're going to do something like this. If 0 equals the expected value and the tile value, right? It's the brush value where I'm worried about it, right? So if if tile value is greater than or equal to 1, and the brush value is greater than or equal to 1, and the expected value, right? So we have this value, we have this brush value, the expected value is going to be 0. Else, if the tile value that we start with is 0, and the brush value is greater than or equal to 1, and the expected value is greater than or equal to 1, right? Else, don't worry about... And so the only other cases should be if the brush value equals 0, right? If 0 equals the brush value, else not all cases considered. So if I miss something, I'm going to say not all cases are considered because there's something I'm missing in terms of my logic here. But in the case of this, I'm not going to worry about this case. Or actually, we could say if 0 is the brush value, then actually no, let's just keep that. Let's keep that. And then what we're going to do here is we're going to do this PAINT5D ToggleTile again, right? So we're going to do it again. So we're going to say ToggleTile again. Again. Alright. We're going to do the ToggleTile again. And what we're going to expect is the expected value is less than or equal to 0, so now we're going to expect it to be equal to whatever the brush value was, right? Because if the expected value is less than or equal to 0, then it unset it, and now it's going to set it, right? Okay. So if we do that, we need this PAINT5D get tile quad, tile exponent, tile layer, all this kind of stuff. Boy, that's a lot. And the actual. So we're just going to say, we're going to put this over here. And we're going to say, that's a lot of stuff. I'm going to say, expect I'm going to say we're expecting positive, right? This is tile value. Yeah, so now we're expecting this positive value, right? And we can just go, hey, PAINT5D get. What is that? What value is that? So in PAINT5D, let's put PAINT5D functions over here for a second. And then we can look at this in a little bit more detail. So this thing right here, what's the value here? Yeah, tile value is a U08. Yeah, okay, so we'll just say U08. Expected positive. Alright, so we have an expected positive. And then over here, we're going to do ToggleTile again, and we're going to expect 0. Right? We're going to expect... We're expecting 0. Right? And so... if... Error, second toggle tile fail. So, right, the second toggle tile failed here, and then over here, if this expected 0 is, well, not equal to 0, right? Second toggle tile failed, expected 0, right? And then over here, if 0 is the brush value, then we're also expecting 0, right? Because no matter what you do with 0, you're always going to get back 0, right? So we can steal all this and right. So this is expecting 0 number 1, this is expecting 0 number 2. A brush value with 0 will always yield a 0 when using the toggle tile. Okay. Then over here, second call to toggle get so let's make a note of this. Let's make a note of where we are here. Right. So the second call to toggle tile should get the opposite of original expected value, right? And that commentary is true here, but it's also true in the other block, right? So it's true here, but that commentary is also true over here, right? So at 432, we could say, right? So it's also true over here. Same deal. We're calling toggle tile again, right? So add again. And we're calling it again over here, right? And we're just expecting that if we call toggle tile again with the exact same brush settings, that the expected value is going to be the opposite of the original expected value. So if the original expected value is kind of positive, we're expecting, 0, right? If the original expected value is 0 or negative, it should really never be negative, but let's not worry about that. Actually, no. If expected value equals 0, let's make a double equal for 0. If expected value equals 0, because I think that's going to be easier to read. Else if 0 equals the brush value, this, if we don't cover all the cases, not all cases considered, else, if expected value is less than 0, else, error, expected value can't go negative. Just in case we've made some type of mistake in our code and somehow this value is negative, we just want to make sure that that that's accounted for. So if we accidentally make that a mistake there, not all cases considered, year 2021. Okay, so we're just gonna date these. So yeah, okay, cool. Let's give that a shot, see what happens, and maybe if we're lucky, that'll yield something. And if that doesn't yield something, we need to make a comparison is always false due to limited range of data type. Yes, that actually makes sense. So we're just going to cast this to an int32. Sure, why not? Because why not? So yeah, that case doesn't look like it's going to ever be negative, but we'll just do a cackish cast. Oh man, it is smart. Come on, don't be so smart. Come on, +0. I'm gonna circumvent the reason why I'm trying to circumvent the compiler here is because what if this type changes, right? I'd still want that check, right? So I'm gonna just throw some stuff in there to make sure that works. Okay. So now we wait. Wait to see if the tests all pass. If they all pass, the next thing is to make a more uniform interface for not all cases considered, really. That's not what I expected. Did not expect that. So tile value equals 0. So if the tile value, if the brush value equals 0, okay, if the brush value equals 0, we have all these cases covered, right? If the tile value equals we can have a positive and a positive, right? The tile value and brush value are both positive. So let's look at that. So we didn't cover all the cases, right? So if the tile value is 0, the brush value is 1, right? That happens. In the other case that we're missing here, so 1, 1, and 0. 1, 1, and 0. Greater than 1, positive, positive, and 0. So let's just take those for a second. So what's positive, positive, and 0? Positive, positive, and 0. Okay. That's the only case that's positive, positive, and 0. Interesting. Yeah, positive, positive, and 0. Okay. We got 0, positive, and 1. 0, positive, and 1. So where's 0, positive, and 1? We got 0. Wait, and 1? Oh, 0, positive, and positive. My bad. So 0, positive, and positive. We got 0, positive, positive. 0, positive, positive. 0, positive, positive. We don't have positive, positive, and positive, right? So yeah, we don't have anything positive, positive, positive. So let's go look at this. So if the tile value greater than or equal to 1, and the brush value is greater than or equal to 1, and the expected value is greater than or equal to 1, positive, right? Positive, positive, positive. Else. Okay. If this is this scenario, then we know that if both of these are positive, then and the expected value is positive, then we know that these two values have to be different, right? Because otherwise it would toggle it off if they were the same, right? So if TV is not equal to BV, error must be different if right? So this is just a shorthand for what this error message means. These two things, they absolutely have to be different. If the expected value is positive and both the inputs are positive, then this has to be the case, right? And if that's the case, right, if the expected value is positive, then also if the expected value is not equal to the brush value, and we might also want to put that in here as well. So if the expected value, so we can see the brush value and the expected values are matches here. So and also, we should put this case before we even test it, right? So if we look at this, right? And here's where we're... let's analyze some basic truths of what's going on here, right? So I know we checked it over there, but let's add that code over here as well, right? So... so a failure here means that the test data itself is wrong. Alright, so anywhere in here. So video 170 time 116 and, I don't know, 16? So... yeah, so if all, yeah, if all three values are positive right here, then this scenario must be true. So we're just going to add that in here as well, so that if so that we can detect this early on before we get down into this other code that gets a little bit more gnarly, right? So in here, right, so we'll test these again over here, just in case, right? Just redundancy is nice. And then we're going to just run ToggleTile again, right? We're going to run ToggleTile again. And we're going to expect the original tile value back, right? Where are we? No, we're going to expect 0, right? So let's look at some of those cases where the two values are different, right? The two values are different, and then we set this right here. So now the brush value equals the expected value, right? We set 3. It doesn't go back to this, it goes back to 0, right? So we're expecting 0 again. So this is expecting 0 number 3. So... or we'll make this number 3. So expected 0, we have 3 different cases where we're going to expect 0. And let's just give that a shot, right? And then from there, I don't know. But we're going to hope that maybe just using the toggle tile one more time will yield some type of mistake that will be detectable in the code. And if it's not, then the next thing is making a more stable interface for the keyboard commands so that we can manually test those commands, right? So maybe something about the keyboard isn't quite doing what we want it to do, right? So basic truth 001 is failing us, huh? Okay, let's go look for that for a second and figure out why that. I didn't expect. I did not actually expect that to happen. So. First of all, if this happens, then we want to know, okay, what's the test index here, right? So printf the test index, ti, so they're all greater than 0, and then thus the tile value should equal the brush value, right? Oh, hold on. Oh. Oh, actually, these should be different. Should be different. Okay, these should differ. The tile value and the brush value need to be different. If they're both positive, they need to be different in order for the expected value to end up positive, right? So if the expected value is not equal to the brush value, right, it also should be equal to the brush value if that's the case. So let's just put this in here like that. That's why I have this redundancy like this, just so that I can kind of figure out stuff like this. So yeah, so let's go down to where we kind of were looking at this earlier in this other case. So if it equals, right, then we're in trouble, right? So, right, I even say that they must be different in the code, right? They must be different. And if that happens, then we also want to just print out the test index, right? So printf ti, and that's the test index. All right, now do we use ti for test index, or are we just full of BS here? No, we use ti for test index. Okay, yeah. So we'll print off the test index there, since we already screwed up there. And let's give that another run. And if this doesn't, yeah. If this cannot catch the problem, we will try to... And the problem could be somewhere with the keyboard stuff, right? That the keyboard inputs aren't really doing what we think they're doing. And maybe for some reason, I don't know, the keyboard inputs are always... oh, are we always on tile value? Oh. Maybe we're always using tile value 0. Maybe this actually already works, but the tile value that we're using right now, the brush value we're using, is 0, right? And that's why it's always... The reason that's always subtractive is because... it's because we chose that tile value, right? So, so let's think about that. So in our code here, so it might actually be working as is intended, right? Because if we're on brush value 0, the first value is subtractive, and then everything else after that is subtractive as well. If that's is that our actual value? Yeah. So ToggleTile remove. Yeah, so we probably just want to look at the... Yeah, if the value of the brush... Yeah, because the overwrite the first time, it's adding a tile, but it's adding a 0, and that's why we're like, oh, it's... Yeah, that would actually make sense as to what we're seeing, right? So actually, ToggleTile might actually be working, and it's just that I didn't understand what I was seeing. So if we log the brush kind of stuff here, and we try our hand at that, then we might notice that maybe if we're lucky, all right, yeah. So in order to log this, we have to cast it to let's cast it to uint pointer. And this should be... Do we have a uint pointer? Well, I have an int pointer, but we don't have a uint pointer. Shouldn't really matter, I don't think. Let's just cast it to int pointer. I think that'll be fine. Right. Yeah, so actually maybe the ToggleTile function actually works, and that'd be nice. Makes pointer from integer without a cast. So, okay, yeah. So we actually do have to... So the one downside of having this generic log function is that when I actually do want to log values, I gotta do this kind of thing here. And VP is probably not the type, is it? So we'll have to say... void pointer. So over here, int pointer, undef VP. Let's put VP over here. Just seems to make... I want to actually put my macros in places that make sense. So void pointer up above int pointer. And then let's go over here for a second. And then we want void pointer here. So define VP void pointer. And we're just going to say, you know, void pointer, right? Ooh, that could technically make things kind of hard to read. Let's not worry about that. It's not like, yeah, maybe we're making things hard to read, but it's not something I'm ever going to read anyways. If that makes sense. It's like I only added it there for that very specific case, right? So void pointer. Yeah. Okay, so let's give that a shot and see if that fixes things for us or not. And then we'll just keep on going here. Keep on going. And yeah, maybe if we're lucky, the ToggleTile function actually works. Because we wrote tests for it. And maybe we just didn't see... We just didn't realize it because because the first brush is brush 0. Yeah, the brush value is 0, so of course. So I think it's X that might change the tile size, yeah, but that doesn't change the brush size, right? So I think maybe Q. Q is changing the layer, and the layer has different colors on it, but that doesn't change the brush size. I'm gonna guess that W might. Nope. I don't know what actually changes the brush size. So let's go look for that for a second. So let's go find the keyboard maybe, and offset. I don't even know. Next brush value, right? I don't know. Let's create a Control F help section here. And let's just I just want to... I know what I'm looking for, but I don't know what it's called, so we're just going to say... over here, we're going to say next brush value yields, or next brush value, right? Or prev brush value, right? Or previous brush value, right? Or prev brush value, or previous brush value, right? Any of these we're going to expect to yield us something, but I don't know what that value is that we're going to get. So when we're trying to search through here next time, I just want to be able to know what the thing is that it's called, and I don't know what that is. So, so the other question is, maybe we don't actually have anything for the tile value. Oh, here we go. Delta mutate tile value. Yeah, so tau depot sub. So this is the tile value here, right? It's the tile value that's in the brush. Alright, we got the exponent, the layer, and then this is the brush. And we can see that Vn, value next and value back, right? So any of these here is the delta mutate tile value, right? So we can just dot, right? There's a namespace on it, but the basic function name is delta mutate tile value, right? So we don't want to have to look through this all the time. So it all kind of yields the same thing here, right? It all yields this. It's all pointing down here, if you will. Right, and if we don't want it to look blank, right, we can make a little diagram, get a little too crazy, and just be like, hey, if you're looking down here, then this is probably what you're trying to look for, right? Something like that, right? Alright. It's not the best. Let's clean that up just a little bit. Right. So anyways, yeah. So delta mutate tile value, and if we look at that, well, let's go look at the keyboard bindings, right? So if we go File, Open, and go open Keybind, and we look for P5D VN, right? Go look for that for a second. And we see T and B. T and B, okay. T and B is what we're looking for. So, now that we know that, hey, I see somebody kind of showed up. I am trying to fix the ToggleTile function, and I just realized that the ToggleTile function might not actually be broken. It's just that 0 If 0 is loaded into the brush, then it the design is if 0 is loaded into the brush, it acts as kind of an eraser always. And maybe that was a mistake. Maybe that was a mistake on my part. That if the I don't know. I gotta think about it. Do I have the behavior that I want? Well, no. Okay, so anyways, if we use, like, T... Okay, so now the brush value is 1. Add, remove, add, remove, add, remove. We're seeing an add, remove. Okay, nice. So let's go through, let's do P for pattern and find something darker. Find a darker pattern here. So now, if we're over here, I'm definitely seeing it add, remove, add, remove, add, remove, add, remove. Fortunately, I'm not really seeing much of, not really seeing any color. Oh, there we go. Nice. Uh-huh. Brush value is 3. Okay. The brush value of 2... Brush value of 1 isn't getting me anything. That's just the rendering algorithm itself that needs to be quote-unquote brushed up. But yeah, if we do this... Okay, actually, the ToggleTile function actually is working. And I just didn't know it because... yeah, the ToggleTile function actually works. So, can we use a smaller value here? Yeah, so there we go, smaller value. Yeah, that way we can kind of zoom in and zoom out here. Yeah, so if we use this, then we can, we got a pan over here like this, right? Yeah, zoom, pan. And we can click stuff, zoom out. Gonna set some more stuff. It'd be nice if we could kind of click drag, right? Because right now it's just clickety clickety click, and that's kind of annoying. It'd be nice if we could just yeah, it'd be nice if we could not have to do that. And so we must be on a pretty large tile size still. So X to go down tile size, down tile size. Yeah, so we can go down pretty far in terms of tile size here, right? And we can kind of like... Yeah, we can toggle on and off all day. Yeah, so... So the problem was that... Okay, so the problem was that I actually didn't know what I was doing, is what that is. Okay, cool. So, what I would like is a way to okay, so ToggleTile actually works and I was just wrong. So now the next thing is, I guess, working on that rendering algorithm a little bit, making it so that it's not so stupid. What do I like if I were whispers? I see. Alright. Anyways, so... Okay, so yeah, actually the test code actually works, and I just didn't realize that it worked. So we got the test, we got the keyboard code for the PAINT5D system, and okay. Yeah, so we gotta just think about what to do in terms of our blending. I don't even know if I have any notes on that. But I know what I was thinking, so So, let's think about the blending notes that we want to do here. Okay, so at vid IID, so the video number we're on 170, and the time is 1 hour, 42 minutes, and I guess 50 seconds. Josh likes to work from dark to light. So make something that works with that. Okay, so Josh likes to work from light to dark, so we want to use something that kind of works with that, and we can check our Discord to make sure that we're not, like, making this up, right? So we can check. Yeah, and for details, I'm free to make a Discord call in about 30 minutes if you're free. I'll be better to discuss things if we can make some notes or remember the details in case. Yeah, that sounds good. I'll Okay, I gotta be right back. I'm just gonna grab the phone. God damn it. So, yeah, so, okay, so, let's do this, so, okay, anyways, back to coding here. Yeah, so Josh likes to work from dark to light, so we want to make something that works with that. We also wanted to just check our Discord and check our messages with Josh just to make sure that we're not making this up, that in fact dark to light is the way that they like to work. So let's just look for the word dark for a second. Yeah, so they would like to work with dark to light. So I'm thinking the backmost layer is dark colors, the mid layer is a darken tool to draw over the backmost layer, top layer is a lighten tool. Okay, so here's what we're thinking. Bottom layer, dark base colors. The mid layer, darken via multiply. And then top layer, lighten via addition, right? So multiply and addition, right? So let's kind of look at our rendering code, right? And try to find something really simple for that, right? So if we go into the paint lib and go P5D 10GL, right? So P5D 10GL fragment shader code, right? And we want to look at that. And right now we have just a bare basic rendering algorithm here. Like, it's like bare basic. So this is just some crazy, like, just shift everything into place and OR it together, like, ORing it together, really ORing this together. So, are we really using a bitwise OR? Oh, because red, green, blue, and alpha, right? Okay, yeah, that makes sense. So we got L1, L2, these are different layers, right? Core rendering algorithm, and we're getting okay. So I'm gonna have to take a quick break, but I'm gonna look at this rendering algorithm. We're gonna figure something out. Let's do 16 minutes. I'll be back. I have to do more stuff, so with like Skype and whatnot. So I gotta take a detour here. All right. All right, downloading Skype. Okay. So, all right, installing Skype. Yes. Let's put this over here. And Skype is one of those stupid programs that doesn't let you choose where to install it, which is great because then if you get any malware on your computer, it knows exactly where to find it because you didn't get to customize that. Okay. Let's go look at our Gmail for a second. Let's hope that we wrote that down because it's been so long I don't know if I can get back into Skype if I didn't write that down. It looks that all right, well, let's just try to log in here. Okay, and yeah, so I just need to do this, so Skype. Okay. Yeah, so I just had to set some Skype stuff up, so, add image. Desktop. Only JPEG. Jeez. How stupid. Okay. I gotta go load a picture into Skype here. So in my desktop, let's go open this with so somehow I can't use save it as a JPEG. Oh wait, cancel. Files save as. Okay, let's close this. Let's upload the image. It's gonna upload this to my profile picture. Yeah, upload. Okay. And microphone settings. Looks like it's hearing me. Got some little dots. Sure. Test audio. Audio headphones. Okay, I can hear that. Okay, camera. Let's not worry about camera here. Continue. USB camera completely black. I see stuff in. Is my camera not plugged in? My camera. Oh, it's probably because OBS is using my camera. Webcam settings. Okay. Okay. So let's look at our email here. Okay, so okay, I just got it up and running. Going back to coding. I'm on Twitch coding right now, so I don't respond here. Try my Twitch chat. Alright, so anyways, let's get back to coding for a second, because I'm all over the place right now. Let's close that. I guess we'll keep Skype open, even though this is like having way too many things open, but yeah, we can keep Skype open. Does Skype do the invasive? Yes, it does. Yeah, Skype is kind of horrible. Oh, and we wrecked our stream in terms of capturing the, did Skype screw up our OBS software? We're gonna have to stop the stream and restart it and hope that, we can get that back, or if Skype just kind of, like, botched us totally here. So I'm gonna stop the stream. 7. So let's stop streaming. I'll be back.